It is Monday, March 28th, not May, of 2022. And had a bit of a scare, but I'm okay. Here today on Guy's Daily Drive. Bam! And welcome everyone to Guy's Daily Drive. Just had a bit of a scare, and it definitely would have interrupted the flow today of doing Guy's Daily Drive. As I was, I'll have to see if I can remember to include it. As I pulled up to the light that leads onto the main drag, as I like to call it, Route 1, it had just turned yellow when I entered the intersection. And as I was making the left, there was a Fairfax County policeman that was right at the left-hand turn lane of that light. And as I saw him, I was thinking, is he going to pull me over? Is he going to think, okay, that was too close and I'm going to pull that guy over in that Kia? And he may have done so, except there was a car in my same lane. There was a metro transport vehicle, Washington metro area transport vehicle, that was in the lane to the right that also made a left, like right at the same time. And there was also another car behind me that made that left. So when he turned around, I was kind of wondering, is he going to pull over the van? Is he going to pull over the car behind me? Is he going to pull over me? Or is he going to just cast this huge net and just pull over everybody? Excuse me. I'm still a little bit congested. And as it turned out, I was kind of keeping an eye on it, which is why I didn't start doing Guy's Daily Drive. I figured there wouldn't be much point if I was going to get pulled over by the policeman. It seems silly to do a Guy's Daily Drive while getting a ticket, though. It might have actually been a little entertaining, because the light was so close that if he had pulled me over, I would have said, "The light was yellow, sir." But if he gave me the ticket, then he gave me the ticket, and there's not much that I could have done about it. And I would have just taken the ticket. It was pretty much that close. So, but they pulled over the car that pulled out behind me, which kind of makes sense, because if I was borderline, they were definitely making that left on red. So, okay, I got out of that one. So good. Oh, come on, let the bus in. So, people just astound me in the things that they do, especially when driving a car. And I'm certainly not a perfect driver, as what's just transpired will show. Honestly, I should have just stopped. I shouldn't have made the left. I should have just, the light is yellow, just stop and wait for the next one. But I didn't. I went ahead and kept going and got away with it. So, yay for me. But if I'd gotten the ticket, I definitely would have deserved it, and I would have just paid it. There has certainly been times when I've pushed that envelope too far, and I definitely hadn't made the light and did the turn on red. But not today. I was legal today. But again, not like I hadn't done it in the past. So the weekend was filled mostly with me sitting at the computer. It was a little chilly. Didn't really feel like going outside much. And I actually got quite a bit done. I did the Friday Guys Daily Drive, both audio and video. Edited and posted. It's up over on YouTube for the video and over in vertshark.com for the audio and the video. And then I got together with Gaz early that afternoon on Saturday, and we recorded the MyMac podcast. And it's kind of long, gotta say. It ended up being a little bit longer than I had anticipated. But as usual, it was a fun show. And then, you get down to brass tacks of audio editing. And it's hard for me to be able to hear what my audio is going to sound like in the podcast apart from the studio monitors that I have, or the headphones, which are also studio grade monitors, because it never sounds exactly like it does here in the car. Now, what I used to do, I would record the show and I would download the edited show to iTunes, and then while out and about the next day, usually a Sunday, I would listen back to it, and if I wasn't happy with the way it sounded, I could go back in and tweak it a little bit. But that, with the way that it's not even iTunes anymore, you have a music app and you have a podcast app. And it just doesn't work the same. And to be able to put my stuff in the music app, which is where I would have to listen to it as compared to the podcast app, and then listen back to it, it's just not as straightforward as it used to be. Apple has made a lot of changes to what used to be iTunes. And I don't think it's really for the better. Some things are better, but a lot of it is just like UI choices that I would call questionable. Things that we used to be able to do, we can't do anymore in the music app or the podcast app. And the same with a lot of their other programs. You used to be able to in GarageBand. Like, for example, as Gaz and I are recording the MyMac podcast, I'm also recording video. As a matter of fact, his audio is coming through on or through StreamYard, which is the streaming service that I use. So that his audio through StreamYard is what you hear on the podcast. As good as anything else. But I suppose I could also just pull my audio off of that, but I don't. I record my audio direct, and I record the sound snippets direct, and then use a variety of programs, which we're going to talk about very soon, to push the audio around and either send it to be recorded or send it to be streamed, or both, or however you want to go. Like when I do Chuck's show, I'm basically just using my microphone, and that's what's being pushed out to Chuck. So I don't need all of the things that I need when I record the podcast with Gaz I can just push my microphone through Zoom to Chuck or to David Ginsburg. Like last Thursday, I recorded In Touch with iOS, which is David Ginsburg's, boy, that's tough to say for me this morning. That's his podcast, and that's always fun. So make sure you go and you check that out. In Touch with iOS. It also had Warren Sklar and of course David and Jeff Gamet, all on that show, and that's a lethal combination. Is this truck going to stay where he is? Good. Okay. So a lot, how I route my audio and how I do the things that I do depends very much on what it is that I'm trying to accomplish with audio and or video. But getting back eventually, or finally, to GarageBand. GarageBand used to have a video track. So, in theory, not now, but before, I could have taken the entire video and audio track from StreamYard, put that into GarageBand, and edited everything there, and then pushed it out from there. But you can't do that anymore, which is too bad, because that would have been, I actually never used it when it was available because I wasn't doing video then. But I really wish that that capability was back there, or that someone would make one that had that kind of capability. I mean, you could take a video editor and probably make it work that way. But then it's just more resources that you're devoting to video and or audio when you still have to bring in whoever it is that you're talking to that week. I used to use OBS. I used a variety of programs when I was doing the Mac to the Future show on Wednesday nights. Need to get back to doing that again. That was a fun show. But the problem with that was OBS, just from the nature of the type of program it is, uses up a lot of resources. And the same thing with other programs. I won't mention them all here, but I tried a variety of programs to not only record audio and video, but to have things set up in a way to where I could easily switch between the various people that were on the show. And none of them worked particularly well. We would get stuttering and dropouts, and sometimes the setup alone would take longer than it was really worth. And it used to not be that hard. Skype used to be a great resource for recording audio and video to put out on something like what I do. But then Microsoft just made that program stupid. And, some people use Zoom and some people use other programs. I use StreamYard because that seems to be the easiest to use, and I get the best possible quality as far as audio and video out from it. Maybe I'll experiment with Zoom again, but it's not the same thing. Anyway, I'm rambling at this point, so I'm going to shut up. And let's do our outro and get on with our day, because I'm almost to work. If you want to get a hold of me, and if you have something that you want me to talk about, let me know. You can let me know in a variety of ways, including email. You can send that to guy@mymac.com or podcast@vertshark.com. Speaking of vertshark.com, that is the place to go to see all of the odds and all of the vids. The odds and the vids are right there at vertshark.com. You can go over to YouTube if all you want to do is watch the video. You can go to YouTube, look up my channel, which is Vert Shark, And then like, share, subscribe. Like, share, subscribe. 3 fingers. It's so easy. It's all you got to do. And I would really appreciate it if you would do so, because that helps me out. If you want to contribute to the things that I do, you can do that as well. You don't have to. I'll keep doing it anyway. You can go to patreon.com/MacParrot. You can go to coffee, ko-fi.com/MacParrot. Or you can pay PayPal at paypal.me/MacParrot. Don't forget the mighty mymac.com podcast. We just did show 888. And it was great. Oh. What a stupid joke that is. But that's now up and live. You can check that out over at mymac.com. And you can subscribe to all of the various mymac.com podcasts through the mymac.com podcast feed. They're all there. Check them all out. And what else? I think that's it. Thank you all so very, very much for joining me today here on Guy's Daily Drive. Kind of an odd one, as they usually are, but this one actually had extra drama. Extra drama. You can't pay for that kind of drama. Well, you probably could, but I wouldn't. We will see all of you next time right here on Guy's Daily Drive. I hope you all have a wonderful day. Bye-bye.